Hello everyone, this is Sophie from Bridal Poltero. Welcome one and all. Today I'm going to do a reading on the Canadian elections. I usually vote by anticipation. I like it. It's open to everyone. It's usually 4 or 5 days long, and that's a week before the election. This year I did not do that. Why? Because I was I don't know who to vote for. I really don't. I know many love Trudeau. I don't. And as a French Canadian, there are reasons why. So, let me check something here. The lighting isn't good. Okay, I'm back. I'm yellow, but I'm back. um, for those of you who don't understand Canadian politics, I don't either. So there you go. No. We have 5 different major parties, one of which is solely in Quebec. And it is strong. It is strong. It makes or breaks a government. That's strong. We have the Green Party, which is like what you have in the US and probably elsewhere in the world, exclusively with things, they're specialized in the environment. And we have the Neo-Democratic Party, and it is strong in some provinces, but not that strong in the country overall. Strong enough, though, to, you know, take quite a few seats and potentially keep a government from being a majority government. We have the Conservative Party, and that is a right party. They're not extremists like we have now in the US with the GOP. They're like the old GOP when they were reasonable but conservative. There you go. And we have the Liberal government, which is the equivalent of the Democratic Party in the Democrat Party in the United States. Now, uh, one is more fiscally responsible than the other. One is more social, is more focused on social programs than another. One is more, is more for the environment, like I said before. And then we have the Liberals, who is a mix of all. Now, under Trudeau, the Liberal Party is definitely not fiscally responsible. It spends and spends and spends. And there has been a few things happening with Trudeau in the past that were not on the up and up. But then that happens with every politician. So we can't really hold that against them, can we? It pisses me off. I'm an idealist, so it does pisses me off, but it is what it is. So, what I'm going to do, one of the things that I want to mention is that party that is exclusively in Quebec. I'm a French Canadian, and I consider myself a minority in our country. There are big cultural differences. There is a history behind it. Now, most Canadians won't consider a French Canadian a minority, but I feel that we are. And we run our province differently than the other provinces. And we control a lot more and we don't want the federal government to kind of get involved in our own affairs. So that's one thing that I want to mention. Having said that, we have the Bloc Québécois, which is a party that is exclusively for Quebec, and I am against it because it is looking solely after Quebec's interest and not the rest of the country. And there was one time when the Bloc came in and was the official opposition, because all the other parties came in behind the Bloc Québécois. So that makes it the official opposition party, and we're in a parliamentary system, and I don't think that's fair to the other provinces. Having lived in other provinces, I do agree that we have a distinct society. As French Canadians, as a Quebecer, we have a distinct society, we have our own language, blah, blah, blah. But all the other provinces have their own culture as well, you know, and they deserve to be well represented. So I feel that the Bloc Québécois should not be, I feel that a political party should be able to present representatives in all their provinces, in all the provinces and territories, or at least a good 50% of them. And the Bloc Québécois is not that. So that's my big beef against the Bloc Québécois. Other than that, I'm glad that we have someone representing us, yes, but people being voted in from our province should be representing us. You know, it's like, duh. Okay, so if you've listened to Cash Peters, he's done something with Trudeau and Singh, and he couldn't understand why Singh had such an impact on Trudeau, because Trudeau was still, winning according to his premonitions and visions. The reason why Singh was so happy, even though he wasn't winning, is that he was a pain in Trudeau's side, because he can keep Trudeau from gaining the majority government. I watched only one debate. It was a French-Canadian one, and I was too sickened to watch the others. I will do that before going to vote. I will. But Trudeau was very clear. He finally came out with it in that debate. He was very clear that he was calling these elections, which are totally unnecessary and dangerous because of COVID, he was calling the elections because he had a minority government, decisions need to be made, and he wants a majority government. And that is the reason why he called the election. And when push came to shove, when he was asked if in 18 months, if he came in as a minority government, if in 18 months there would be another election. And he said yes. He ended up relenting and saying yes. That's not good. I don't want to pay like $500 million every 18 months for elections that are totally unnecessary. It is part of our constitution to have sometimes minority government. If you do a good job, you'll eventually get a majority, period, right? At least that's the way I see it, but anyway. So the two parties that have a chance of coming in are the Conservative and the Liberals. And I'm going to read cards for these two parties based on the on different issues like economic issues, international issues, the environment, and leading the country and managing the country as a whole. So I'm going to compare uh, the two parties and the two leaders. Um, Trudeau is very well liked by many and not so much by others. And I'll try to keep my feelings out of it. So, on the economic side, we have Trudeau and O'Toole. Trudeau's going to be at the top and O'Toole at the bottom. So, how will they do? How will Trudeau and O'Toole do, respectively, on the economy? How will Trudeau and O'Toole do, respectively, on the economy? Trudeau. Disappointment, burden, emptiness, incomplete. That's with the world upside down. Then the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Six of Wands. With O'Toole, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot reversed, the Page of Pentacles reversed, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Cups. So the world reverse, talk about disappointment with the Three of Swords, broken heart and betrayal. The Nine of Cups, there is some success here and there, rewards being given to others, I think. I think it's more about rewards being given to others. But a lot of disappointment. At the end, there's the Six of Swords. So overall, Trudeau looks not too bad. I am very, very, very surprised. When we look at the Queen, at O'Toole, we have the Queen of Pentacles. He has some good business sense. The Chariot reverse, he's going to be, there's going to be a dispute and conflict with him. The Page of Pentacles, some procrastinations. I can see that because he talks about a lot about, he would work with the provincial governments on spendings and things like that. So that would delay things a little bit. The Knight of Swords, a lot of big changes, honest. Oh, because if one thing Trudeau was not with the economy, he was putting a lot in his pocket and in his friend's pocket. A lot. And the Six of Cups, reverse, being stuck in the past. And I'm wondering if he's not going to go back a little bit to where Stephen Harper was when he was the Prime Minister, and he kept us afloat. Actually, he brought the economy back in order. So there are honesty, but some poor prospects and procrastinations here and there. Some, at first there's a immaturity. That the page is the student is a young person. So there's going to be some immaturity as it relates to money. But at the same time, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is nurturing, taking care of the people. So that's good as well. But there are going to be conflicts and misdirection. So whatever he does, it's going to bring this conflicts. And that might delay things. That's where I might see the procrastination there. But there's honesty. And he might bring us back to where Harper was with the economy. And he was a stickler. But he did It did bring us back to to a balanced budget. As for with Trudeau, there's disappointment and heartbreak, um, making deals that are for his friends and families, paying a charity. I don't know how much it was, and his family pocketed. Is it 75,000 or $750,000 on that charity because they were on the board? It doesn't make sense to me. That's, the family was a charity. But there are some success, some rewards, some wishes coming true for Canadians, so that means he's going to end us some money. But he's going to spend a lot, contrary to O'Toole, which is something that will bring him success. So, depends on which way you look at this, whoopsie, back. Um, Trudeau will give more, but it'll cost us more. O'Toole will be more responsible, but we won't have much. So which one is your priority? That's basically what it is. Now, Trudeau at the top, O'Toole at the bottom. The environment. Trudeau had promised us a lot on the environment in 2015, and well, we have the key, the pipelines, and the dirty oil, I call it, and things like that. So yeah, he didn't do much. And then you have the conservative. When you look at their platform, you have the conservative government, which has 80 pages long. I couldn't muster the strength to read it. Then you have the liberal government, who had 3 points. That was it. You have the Neo-Democratic Party, who was complaining about the conservative and the liberal and what they've done in the past. Then you had the Bloc Québécois, which is all about Quebec, and the Green Party I didn't look into. So yeah, it's really weird. So on the environment, Trudeau's making promises about investing in farmland to help with the fires out west. We do need that, but what about planting trees? What about the dirty oil? And I have no idea what O'Toole has in mind. So this is going to be a cold read for O'Toole. Most of this is going to be a cold read. How are they doing? How are they going to do with the environment? Because we are behind our goals on the Paris Climate Accord. So Trudeau, yeah, he's an idealist. That's the Page of Cups, right side up. Then you have the Ace of Wands upside down, the Star right side up, Strength right side up, and Death right side up. So we have here with the Page of Cups, Trudeau is a dreamer, and he's good at communicating the dream because he's an actor. It's important for everyone to know that Trudeau is an actor, and he was teaching acting. That's what he was doing, okay? So just keep that in mind. He is from a political family, though. but he's not putting his energy behind it. You know, it's all full of hope and idealism with the Page of Cups and the Star, but there's no energy behind it. Then comes the Strength. He might have to be faced with the reality that we need to transform with the Death card. So the Strength will be powered by the necessity of change. So he'll need to be pushed into it. That's what I think. Now, O'Toole, the Sun upside down, the Knight of Pentacles upside down, the Moon right side up, the Eight of Swords right side up, and the Three of Cups. No, the Eight of Swords was upside down, and the Three of Cups is upside down. So, with the Sun, he understands that there are expectations, and they are somewhat unrealistic to achieve. But we still need to put our, our strength behind it, and we need to meet those expectations because it is our survival. Our children and grandchildren, our great-grandchildren especially, will be suffering a lot from what's going on right now. This is it. This is now or never. He's very pessimistic about it. However, it won't stop him from working very, very, very hard towards achieving what needs to be achieved in order to help the environment. I see that with the Knight of Pentacles upside down. He might even do some risky stuff in order to achieve his objective. He is a military man. The last military man that we've had as a prime minister was Pierre-Elliott Trudeau, Justin's father, but he never served. He was never deployed. And that was for World War II. We only had 4 prime ministers out of 23 that have been in the army. So he might see things that he needs to do that may be unrealistic or risky in order to achieve his goal. But then you have the Moon with illusion and confusion. A lot of secrets and uncertainty there. There's going to be a lot of secrets, but he's also going to bring us hope and freedom. Hold on a sec. Scandals. We're good at that in Canada. We have scandals. Yeah, we're good at that. So, okay, so he is going to, he's going to take some risky decision and then maybe try to conceal them so that we will feel hopeful, but eventually it's going to come out as a scandal. They both need to do the same thing, but you have the military man versus the politician and actor. Trudeau can make a skunk smell good. Yeah. So, this is basically what the cards are telling me for the environment about O'Toole and Trudeau. Social justice. Huh? In Canada? Lack of social justice? Oh boy, yeah. The thing is, if we talk about racism, this is a touchy subject, I know. But with racism, In Canada, it's very veiled. It's you don't see it. It's very veiled until it hits you in the face. And as a French Canadian, I've been, um, I don't like to say the word victim of racism, because victim of racism is more like, it doesn't compare to what people of color in the United States can live through when they have to face racism. It doesn't. But discrimination, I'll call it discrimination as a French Canadian, living in other provinces when push came to shove. So it's not excessive. It is not excessive. It's just veiled. It's just, yeah. So social justice. How are Trudeau and O'Toole going to do with that? In Quebec, we are trying to get religion out of the government. And that means also signs, religious signs, from people in power, like judges, teachers, police officers, and first responders. That includes the cross, that includes the hijab, or, veil and things like that. Some people see this as, removing religion. Some other people see this as discrimination. So, how is Trudeau and how is O'Toole going to do with social justice? Trudeau, Nine of Wands, Ace of Swords, Six of Wands, and Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands upside down. O'Toole, Seven of Cups, 20, Judgment card upside down, Seven of Cups upside down, Judgment upside down, Nine of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Sun upside down. Okay, so Trudeau is very active in that, in the sense that he wants freedom of religion. He doesn't believe in removing religious signs from anywhere. And he's seen as a hero for those who are against this law. And for those who are for this law, he's seen as a pain in the bottom. He's going to be he's going to start anew with this, with the Ace of Swords, but he's also going to push quite a bit. He's going to be a little bit aggressive about this in his new stance. He's going to be tough on Quebec on that one. We don't like him in Quebec. Many people in Quebec don't like him, even though he's a Quebecer. With the Six of Wands, he's going to be seen as a hero with some people, that's for sure. But with others, he's going to be a pain. And at the end of it, with the Nine of Wands reversed, he's going to be very stubborn about it, defensive, and uncompromising. Now, when I look at, if you look at it, I'm thinking about the religious signs, but if you look at it about the position of women, Trudeau is good with that. Okay, we need to give him that. He's somewhat of a feminist, and he's not afraid to say it. With discrimination for whatever reason, he's totally strong on that. He is not. He he's very anti-discrimination. Now with O'Toole, with the Seven of Cups reverse, the Judgment reverse. Okay, he's gonna have to make choices, and he's also going to to be distractive. He's basically going to answer, if you look at the religious signs, like he did in the French-Canadian debate, which I have to give him this. The guy, him and Singh, worked really hard to learn French, to be able to do a debate. Really hard, because they didn't learn French early on. I don't think so. And their French was very good. They were easy to understand. And doing a debate in another language that you're just about to learn in French is extremely difficult to learn because it's full of exceptions. You know, the grammar is, you know, this thick. It's just exceptions. So I want to give those two credits for showing up and putting a performance like they did. But his answers, O'Toole, was always, I will confer with each head of provinces and we will make the decisions based on those. He would never come up with a straight answer. He was always doing diverting from a straight answer when it was an unpopular choice. And he's going to do that still. A lot of indecisive. He's going to have difficulties making decisions because he wants to please all provinces. And if you want to be re-elected, you have to be strong in Canada, in Quebec, and Ontario, because that's where the majority of the province, the populations is. And Quebec, you know, in certain things, if you go with Quebec, you go against the country. And for other things, if you go against Quebec, you go for the rest of the country. It's like, it's not an easy thing. So, yeah, he's going to be indecisive, which is probably why he'll be doing diversion. He'll charm people. He'll be a mediator. He was very strong on that in the debate as well. He'll be a mediator. He wants to mediate with each provinces and bring to each provinces what they need. But when he's going to put his foot down, it'll be down. There is no going back. I think that working the way he wants to work social justice is unrealistic. You need to work social justice as a whole, not individually. And, you know, if you look at the Indian Affair, I was reading an historical novel, sorry. The First Nation and Inuits up north. They, where did I want to go with that? You can't, you know, you'll need to look into that. You can't push things away. You can't have unrealistic demands from some people There's a lot of diversity in Canada, even though we're geographically large. We're a small country, only 38 millions, and but there's a lot of diversity, a lot of cultural differences. Some of it made geographically, some of it made from history, and it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. Social services. When I talk about social services, I'm talking about healthcare. I'm talking about uh, help for people with disabilities, which is poor. As a disabled person, I can say that it is very poor. And so, how are they going to do? Trudeau and O'Toole. Social services is also about social services programs, healthcare, childcare, care for people who are disabled, and I'm not getting what I need. What else? Mental health. We are definitely not getting what we need. Now, the healthcare system in Canada, we're no longer waiting years to have a doctor. We are doing pretty good with that. Um, well, in Quebec, we've developed a system that helps us out a lot. And also, but we have to look at after our elders. During the pandemic, and one of the residents for elderly, there was a few people who died of starvation because they didn't have enough staff. They died of starvation. That is very sad. Very, very sad. Now we've come around, but and that is. I'm sorry. I keep dropping my words. I'm bad. And so let's see here. Sorry, this is a long video. It just needs to be done. Trudeau. Disappointment, burden, with the world upside down. Seven of Wands upside down. Ten of Pentacles upside down. That doesn't look good. The Empress and the Ten of Wands. Trudeau is not doing good in that area. We already knew that. He didn't do very good with the pandemic. The premiers did. The premiers of each provinces did. But Trudeau did not. He was late in reacting. I think he reopened the borders early. Too early, because we don't know where the fourth wave is going, and there's another wave. And remember, way back in June, I talked about the Lambda variant that is coming or has already landed. There's going to be another one after that. That is going to be very well, that is not going. We're not going to have the. We're not going to see it as bad as it really is. But I'm going to get back to that. Let's go to O'Toole. Seven of Cups upside down. Judgment upside down. Seven of Swords upside down. Ten of Swords. And the Seven of Pentacles upside down. Neither one of them is doing very good in that area. With Trudeau, we are going to get some empty promises. It's going to be disappointed, and it's going to be a burden. He's going to admit defeat and just give up. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of debates happening. It's going to be very unstable. He's going to bring back instability in our healthcare system, which is not a good thing because he wants to be too directive. And in Quebec, we know what our needs are. And right now, we kind of worked very hard and better with, I don't know how you say it in English, préposé aux bénéficiaires. The person that is providing services to each person in the hospital or in the residences. Not the nurse, but the one under the nurse. So we're doing better with that. I'm not saying that we solve the problems though, but we're doing a lot better than that. We need to solve the problems with nurses. Trudeau wants to do this very directively. He's very insisting on the programs that don't need as much help as programs where we need help. Childcare might do better with that because he has a better understanding of what we're doing here. Childcare is basically we have child care centers at I think now it's $12 a day, and so he has a good understanding, better understanding than O'Toole does, and that's a system that should really be adopted across Canada because it makes a big. It really helped. It really helped. He's going to try to be nurturing, but it's not going to work because it's too big of a struggle. He needs to he needs to give that responsibilities. He needs to give the means to each provinces and territories, and then they assume the responsibilities based on their specific needs. O'Toole doesn't understand it. O'Toole doesn't understand the daycare centers program that we have. And that was very clear in the debate, and he still refused to understand it. He's looking at child credits at the end of the year in our income tax return. What we have is something that helps poor families now, in the now, not at the end of the year. So he's again, the judgment card upside down comes back often with O'Toole. It's very indecisive. Can't make a decision. Oh, he's going to make mistakes, big mistakes with the socials. Yeah. And he's going to fail in that area. Yeah, he's going to fail in that area. So those are the social services that we were talking about. Now, we did the economy, the environment, social justice. Which of the two will be the best prime minister? I must admit that right now, I'm surprised. I expected more from O'Toole's cards. He's a military man, and I expected more from him. Those cards are very different than what I expected, than what I had hoped. So, which one of them will be the best leader? Oh, no, international affairs. Who's going to be doing the best in the international affairs? Commerce, too. We need to look at commerce. Okay. Trudeau. Page of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles. O'Toole, Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups reversed, and Six of Wands. So the Justice card for Trudeau is upside down, and that is normal because yeah, that's normal for him. So he's always cheerful and seems fearless. He's extroverted. Come to Canada! He wants to bring prosperity and security, and he wants to manifest it. However, there is dishonesty and corruption, which we know with Trudeau. Nostalgia. He wants to. He loves comfort. He wants to bring pleasure back. He wants to grow the country because we're very small. He's very ambitious and consistent in that area. O'Toole wants to keep what he's got, but at the same time, he's very determined to put Canada in a position more power. I think that he has the knowledge, the means to do it, but he's not going to come across as loved as Trudeau is. Remember, Trudeau is not what he appears to be. He's an actor, a good one. There is success on an international affair with O'Toole. I think that both of them have a plan, and both of them are going to be successful at the plan. The thing is, with Trudeau, there is going to be corruption, as there has been. But he's going to be liked, and he's very ambitious in his plans. With O'Toole, he wants to put Canada back into a place of power. We're not talking about military power because, we have dog sleighs and, well, snowmobiles. We do have snowmobiles. Maybe he'll put more emphasis on that. I don't know. I'll have to look at that because our defense is, it's horrible. The people defending us are great. They have some issues, but they are great. But our defense system we don't have one. So there you go. And but he's not going. He's going to be very successful, but he's not going to be well liked. A little bit like Harper was before in the past. He was not well liked, but he did get the job done. He did. So let's look at the military. We never look at that in Canada. We never think to look at that. Our defense, because geographically, we're a tough country to invade. But this is something that is going to be important in the future because we are going to be one of the countries where people will want to come and live because we're very well positioned on an environment, with the sea level rising and things like that. We're very well positioned. So, yeah. Again. How are we going to do with the military? O'Toole and Trudeau. This is a long video. I'm going to cut it. Okay, O'Toole and Trudeau defense. O'Toole and Trudeau defense. Trudeau. Oh, don't tell me he's going to start working on something. Illusion. Irresponsible. Paralyzed. As usual, the actor will come out. O'Toole. Okay, Trudeau. Three of Pentacles, the Moon, Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Fourth of Sword, and the Six of Wands. He's going to work and make more of an effort into this, because I think he's starting to realize that this is becoming a problem. See how Great Britain, the US, and Australia are working together against China? Canada should be in there because we have issues with China from a commerce perspective as well as a defense perspective. And human rights is something that Canada is big on. We're really big on that. And we weren't part of the announcement yesterday. The reason why? We have nothing to offer. So we need to work on that. But again, you know, there's going to be secrets. There are going to be secrets surrounding whatever Trudeau is working on. And he's going to be responsible about it. He's going to take a risk somehow. But then he'll be paralyzed by it. But still, he'll find a way to come out of this a winner. The actor. O'Toole. O'Toole is a military man. And he's going to take a stance on this, and that is going to engender conflict. So he'll need to temper his arduous idealism on this. I think he has an idea of what needs to be done. He wants to do it, but he'll need to temper it a little bit. Put water in his wine. And that is going to create tension and imbalance. That is a big stress for him. And he'll become more aware of what needs to be done and how to do it, but he won't have time to get to it. So with O'Toole, nothing's going to happen. With Trudeau, a mess is going to happen. And it's going to stink, but it's going to make it, he's going to come out of it smiling like roses. So for those of you who like Trudeau, I think you're going to not like my reading. But that's basically what I am getting. I'm sorry. The choices are not good. They're definitely not good. We did not need elections, and the choices are not good. Okay, who will make the best Prime Minister? Trudeau. Oh, I'm getting the feeling of using my other deck here. One card. Who will be the best Prime Minister? Trudeau or O'Toole? Who would make the best Prime Minister? Trudeau or O'Toole? I hear O'Toole. Trudeau, O'Toole. Who will be the best Prime Minister, Trudeau or O'Toole? Trudeau. Temperance. Minority government. O'Toole. Inaction. At the back of the pack, the Sun. Either one. One needs to put water in his wine. The other one will be stopped at every corner. And he is indecisive, so will be paralyzed. But either way, we'll come out of it good. Why? Because we're Canadians and we live in Canada and we're very, very, very privileged. And I thank God every day we live in Canada. I do. I do. Because we're doing good. You know, we are doing good. So that's my reading. That's a 1 hour reading that I am going to split now. For those of you who had the courage to listen to it all, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that if you couldn't make your choice, this was somewhat helpful to you. It was not to me. I still don't know who to vote for. I'm gonna flip a coin. Because at home, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to talk at the table when we talk politics. And that's okay. That is okay. We were raised that way, and we are all, you know, there's 1 year in all my adult life I didn't vote, and when politics was on the table, all I was allowing myself to do was ask questions because I did not vote. My sister 1 year did not vote, and that's exactly how it was. You know, you're not judged for who you voted. You're judged as to, well, judged. You're kind of judged as to whether or not you voted. So there you go. Thank you very much, everyone. You have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.